Marie, and I have Lou Sipos with me this morning. She's going to be our guest on our Focus program, our public affairs program here at Mix 92.9. And she's also the founder of Gabe's Chemo Ducks. And you have a duck with you. Will you tell people about what it is and how it got started?
I do. I will. Chemo Duck is it's a medical play tool that goes out to children who are living with cancer to help them understand their cancer treatment.
And how did this come about? Because you had the personal experience is what made it happen.
The program came about as a direct result of the fact that my 9-year-old son is now a 7-year cancer survivor, and we made the first ever chemo duck for him to just help him understand his treatment and to have a little friend to go through treatment with. And it turned out to be a far more powerful tool than we ever imagined. And demand just grew and grew and grew.
It's nationwide now.
Yes.
I was looking online for information because we wanted to talk about it again today on the air, and I saw in Florida and it's everywhere.
Predominantly the East Coast, yeah, but we're spreading nationwide, and we are in a couple of hospitals in England also, so it's kind of exciting.
Now, what is so chemo ducks go to children who are going through the treatment, so they can see show people why the duck has all this extra stuff on it.
Well, the duck is made to mirror the child's body. We have two styles of chemo duck. We have a Hickman line chemo duck, which is this kind, when a child has a Hickman line, the line is actually placed directly into their chest. And then we have a port style duck where the child would go in every week or so and have a small needle placed into their ports, and most of the time it's just a little bump under their skin. So we like to reflect both types of chemotherapy access. And so what's special about it really is the chemotherapy line, which is actually medical grade, and the children can experiment with attaching syringes, and this is where they would have their blood drawn from, and also where their chemotherapy goes into. So it's just to help child life specialists within the hospitals explain what's going to happen to the child.
Plus, it helps normalize it for the kids. If it's not something they've never seen before and never experienced before, and it's more normal and it's something they've experienced more, it's not so scary.
Absolutely.
Number one.
Absolutely.
And he's got the little hat, and the little scrubs, and the bandana, because a lot of kids with chemo have the little bandanas and bald heads.
A lot of most children lose their hair. A lot of the older children choose to wear bandanas. Most of the young kids are bold and proud, or they'll have little hats on in winter. But yeah, it certainly reflects the fact that it's a child going through chemotherapy.
Do you have one specific story of the most special time that you saw a child receive a chemo duck? Something that you went, this is all worth it?
Most of the time, to be honest, we don't see the children receiving the chemo ducks because at the time they would receive the chemo duck is a very it's a very difficult time for the families.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
And we predominantly deliver through hospitals. So what would happen is the child life specialist in the hospital will give the family the duck. But we have become very good friends, very firm friends with a lot of great families. And there's one little boy in particular whose name is Zachary, and he lives in England. And Zachary also has Asperger's syndrome, and he has a number of other medical conditions. But he's become one of our featured cartoon kids, so it's kind of
cartoon
special.
Kids.
We have a cartoon. We have a chemo duck cartoon, and we have a lot of cartoon images on the website. We have a lot of printable activities, and Zach's featured in some of our printable activities.
And so, do you have a favorite feedback that you've gotten from somebody, a favorite letter or something that they wrote?
You know, funnily enough, I got some phenomenal feedback last night. We're having our mall waddle this weekend, and we were at the mall last night, and I came across a lady so we had the big chemo duck mascot with us, and she saw the mascot, and she said, my child has a chemo duck, and she just literally started to cry right there in the mall, and she was hugging me and hugging Gabe, and she's like, I can't tell you how important it's been to us. And so, I mean, that, for something to happen that off the cuff and for it to be instantaneous was very, very touching.
That has to be healing.
It's
for you guys.
Yes, it is. It is. It's nice to know that even though Gabe suffers quite a lot of side effects from his treatment, that he is where children want to be. You know, being a survivor, and it makes a big difference to have to us to have him be a symbol of hope.
And he's been in Country Strong. He's been in a major movie.
Yes.
He played what? The little boy who Gwyneth Paltrow visited?
Yes. He played Travis. Travis was a little boy with leukemia. Mm-hmm. And his make-a-wish was to have Kelly Cantor come and sing to him, and it was very, very touching.
He looked adorable in the pictures. We'll post some of the pictures online so you can see Gabe. And thank you very much, Lou.
Thank you.
For all you've done and for forming Gabe's Chemo Ducks, and we wish you the best in the world.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity.